Joe Atherley. Bring on Joe. Give him some music. Joe, where are you? Joe, your people want you. Joe, come to them and bring your message. We going with Joe. 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 You have had him serve you before. He's a man of integrity. A man with a message. A man who knows how to take care of the people of his constituency. The Reverend Joe Atherley. Give him room, because he is bringing you a message. This is not church, but the Labour Party knows how to bring the message. We going with Joe. This constituency will be returned to its magnificence. And you see what the people in this constituency plan to do? Sweep them out! Mop them out! Joe can mop it up! No Michael no more. The man with the mop. We got the on top. We go with Joe. He did good before. Helping the young and the old and the poor. Joe coming back once more. We go with Joe. I want you to know. If you want Reverend Rev on top, everybody raise your hand with him up. Mikey flop, everybody raise your hand with him up. If you want Reverend Rev on top, everybody raise your hand with him up. Mikey flop, everybody raise your hand with him up. If you want Reverend Rev on top, everybody raise your hand with him up. Mikey flop, everybody raise your hand with him up. If you want Reverend Rev on top, everybody raise your hand with him up. Mikey flop, we going with Joe, we going with Joe.
I suppose. I'd like to say good night to all of Barbados, it seems. I'd like to welcome you to the heart of St. Michael West. And you need to settle a minute. I can hardly hear myself. A few nights ago in Carlisle Car Park, I offered the view in the brief minute I had that when the Barbados Labour Party is returned to power in the office of government on the 21st of February, it will be asked to do in Barbados what no other political party in the history of this country has been asked to do. And I'm pretty sure that all of my colleagues understand that the task ahead of us is massive. And though we come before you tonight in the confidence of victory, we come with a strong sense of humility that the task before us is going to be a very challenging one. Because Barbadians will be relying on the Barbados Labour Party after February 21st to bring this country back from where this country has never gone before. I am fully persuaded in my own mind that we are a nation tonight in reverse. With our economy in decline, we are a nation in reverse. This manifesto, which is being launched tonight, by its very prudent agenda, is designed to change gear in Barbados and to take Barbados out of reverse mode and put us again on a path to progress. I'm fully persuaded in my own mind we are a nation tonight adrift and in doubt. We are a society fast becoming bereft of spirit. We are a people who feel much pain. But the content and program of this manifesto is designed to ensure that we renew the spirit of Barbadians and that together we can go forward with renewed hope in our future and our destiny as a country. Because I feel fully persuaded also that the best that Barbados can ever experience is yet to come. I am also fully persuaded that the best option for Barbados is the Barbados Labour Party, and that our chances of the brightest possible future lie with the Owen Arthur-led administration that will come to office after February 21st. We are a people perplexed. We are a people in pain. And the Barbados Labour Party understands that what we will be called upon to do is to restore a faith that has been fractured in this country. And the faith of the people has been fractured because of the broken promises of the current administration made in 2008. The faith in the people has been fractured because of the broken promises of the party in government since 2008. And we will be called upon to restore a faith which is fractured. A faith which is fractured because of failed government. A faith which is fractured because of imprudent as well as insensitive policies pursued by this government against the best of advice. A faith which is fractured because of an arrogance compounded by ignorance in ministerial high places. The result of that is that Barbadians have lost faith and confidence in the system set up to serve them and respond to the interests and demands and to their just deserts. And this is a task which will await the Owen Arthur-led administration, to restore a fractured faith and to bring a country back from the brink where it has never gone before. The task of the Barbados Labour Party administration going forward, as I understand it, and I'm sure my colleagues do too, will be to strengthen the things which remain, which are ready to die. Some of you may recognize that as a biblical reference. But that is a task which awaits us, to strengthen the things in Barbados which remain, which tonight are ready to die. Because we are a society which is feeling hurt. In every sphere of life, people are experiencing hurt and pain. And there are things among us of importance and significance, things we cherish, things we value, things that we have built up over long years of industry and hard work, which are ready to die. And the task that awaits us is to strengthen the things which remain. I want to suggest to you tonight that the human spirit in Barbados is dying. One of the things which is dying tonight in Barbados is the human spirit. I approached a few months ago a humble chattel house not too far from here in this direction. And I would never have anticipated what would escape the lips of a very congenial, peaceful, calm and quietly disposed, gentle-mannered old lady. But in engaging her in conversation, she made this statement, and it struck me and it has not left me. And she said, Reverend, this government in this country is killing old people in this country, and they do not even know it. Those words came from the lips of a gentle-mannered seeming old lady sitting at her window in the cool of the afternoon. You were there, you heard, pondering her plight. You know what she was talking about? The fact that she is on a pension, and this insensitive government by callous policy position is now causing her to pay much more for her needed medication to sustain her life in her senior years. And she was telling me the degree of cost increase that she was being exposed to. And it drove a gentle-mannered old woman to express these words to me, and I was surprised. This government is killing old people in this country. And what is worse is they do not even know it. I am here to tell you that if you look into the pages of this document and you look at page 56, you will see that the Barbados Labour Party administration is telling Barbadians that when it comes to office after February 21st, no pensioner in this country will be asked to pay any money for their medication, and that medication will be free to them at a pharmacy of their choice. And not only is it pensioners, elderly, disabled, and people of that like who tend to fall through the cracks in our society, but after February 21st, we will reverse that insensitive policy position on health care service in Barbados, especially to our pensioners and elderly people. Check it out on page 56. I tell you, the human spirit in Barbados tonight is dying. Not too long ago, in this constituency as well, and not too far from here, in that direction, I met a middle-aged woman, and I approached her house again in the afternoon, and I was accompanied, so there's evidence to support this. And she said to me, Reverend, things are so hard, I just do not know what to do. There are 7 of us as adults living in this house, and not a single one of us is working. Not a single one of 7 adults in a household is working. And what I have to do is on weekends, I have to make some sweet bread to see if I can sell and make some money to pay my bills. And when she spoke, you could hear the sigh in her spirit. I tell you tonight, we need to be careful to strengthen the things which remain, which are ready to die, because the human spirit in Barbados is dying tonight. Thank God there's an election on February 21st. You check page 69 in this manifesto, because it tells us that households in which there is no body employed will receive priority attention in terms of employment opportunity and other help from a new Barbados Labour Party administration. I am strongly of the view that we must push to remove from the landscape of Barbados the specter of households in which nobody at all is working. And government must be able, through state agency, to guarantee some minimum level of income to those households beyond the menial type of welfare assistance which now we offer. Read this. It's here. A young man came to my office up in Bank Hall. And it's not really my office. It's your place, and I have told you that. And he walked into the office up at Bank Hall. And he sat before me. And they say men don't cry. But here's a hard-back young man who sat in front of me with tears welling up in his eyes. And he said, Reverend, I ain't come to beg you for nothing. I am not one of them kind of fellas. All I want is for you to help me to get a job to feed my youth. Here, young men in this country are being emasculated tonight. They are being denuded of their masculinity because they cannot find employment opportunity. I go into Vietnam, I go into Alkins, I go into Richmond, I go into Paris Gap, and wherever I go, the cry is the same. Rev, the boys want work. Rev, the boys want jobs. Joe, the boys want help. And I'm saying to you tonight, there's a loud cry coming from the crushed spirits of our young men, which we are not hearing. We hear it when they make noise on the block, but we do not hear the silent cries which echo loudly from their bosom when they cannot feed their children and cannot find a job. And it has been made abundantly worse under this administration in the last 5 years. We had approached to seeming near full employment in this country. Tonight, the unemployment figures are going in the other direction, throwing our young men out of work, making them unable to feed their children. And then we can hear views like this coming from the head of government. People don't need money in their pockets. People do not need money to live. And if they do need money to live, the drug pushers have money. The criminals have money, and is that being recommended as a resource or a recourse for our young men? If that is the best we can offer our young men tonight, government should not wait until February 21st. They should resign today. And the young woman came in that very same office, and she sat down, bearing her infant child on her breast. And she sat down and tears flowed down her cheek. And she said, I have nothing to cook for this child or the one I left at home. I came all the way up here to ask you for some money to see if I can get something to cook today. Not tomorrow, not next 2 days, because what I have is running out. I do not have anything at the moment to feed this child that I bear upon my breast or the one I left behind at home. I am telling you, if we do not listen, we will not be careful to hear that the human spirit in Barbados is not only sighing, but it is dying. Under this callous government and the menial offerings, the human spirit in Barbados is dying tonight, and we need to check that. Business confidence in Barbados is dying. Did you know that? I spoke to a businessman not far from here, and I will not even point in the direction because you may recognize who I'm talking about. And he said to me, Joe, you know, we go back a long way, and you know that I supported those fellas. You know that I am a them, and my family were thems. But Joe, listen to me. These guys do not have a clue as to what they are doing. They are killing my business. They're killing business in Barbados. And I want you to know, I called you here today, although I am a dem, because I want to help you. And this man up against whom you run in this election is one of the biggest naive, idiotic people in the politics of Barbados. And I am going to support you because I am done with him and I am done with them. And they're destroying his business. But it's not only businesses in St. Michael West that are being destroyed. I spoke to another businessman in Christchurch this afternoon, and he said, Joe, not only are we in the worst recession in the history of this country, we have absolutely the worst government we have ever had in the history of this country, and we need to get rid of them. Make sure you win that seat in St. Michael West for Owen Arthur. I want Owen Arthur back. I want the Barbados Labour Party back. These guys have not a clue what they are about. And the man said, look, I run this place here, and it is a business complex. And in the last several months, 12 of the businesses in this complex have closed. I have lost 12 tenants, and those people have lost their jobs. This government is the absolute worst in this country. And then the man, I was shocked. He got into some expletives and some obscenities as he used his descriptives relative to this government. I don't go there. I don't speak like that. And he ended up being very apologetic. But he was very passionate. in condemning these guys because they do not have a clue. They're killing off businesses in this. Why do you think so many people are unemployed? Listen, they're killing youthful hope in this country. Do you know that when you experience maturity, it is expected that opportunity would come along with maturity? In other words, you grow up through your youthful adolescent years, you come into young adulthood. A country in which you live is supposed to create a climate in which opportunity will accompany your growing maturity. That is not happening in Barbados. Do you know that it is expected that social and economic advancement would accompany educational achievement? That is not the story in Barbados tonight. You are coming out of secondary school and you can't find a job. You are coming out of university, you can't find a job. You are doing postgraduate studies and you can't find a job. And if we listen carefully enough, we will hear not only the sighs, but the dying breath of the human spirit in Barbados among our educated people. Youthful hope is dying in Barbados. Business confidence is dying in Barbados. They are killing communal pride in Barbados, national pride. Hello, Barbados stands tonight with bowed head. That is my view. Some bow in prayer, thankfully, but the majority of us are bowed in despair. As a nation, we stand tonight with bowed head. We dare not lift our heads with pride and a sense of industry anymore because pride has been etched away and industry is disappearing day after day. Thank God there is an election on February 21st. We can change the course of history in this country. We can reverse the nonsense that now obtains in Barbados. They're telling me my time is up. All right. He said 2 more minutes, so you're going to start me again. I smile, but we are really in a very sad situation. And we've got to reverse. Listen, I say to you, after February 21st, Joseph Atherley comes back to duty. Hear me. Joseph Atherley does not have a sense that he's returning to privilege. My colleagues do not feel like they're returning to privilege. We are returning to duty, and duty beckons us. I am honored to be a part of a 30-member team that will reverse the slide in Barbados, that will bring us out of this nightmare experience which we have had because a prime minister has been sleeping. I'm honored to be a part of that team. I am humble that you here in St. Michael West are considering me. And I pray that on February 21st, the awesome support which you have expressed will translate into votes and you will go early to St. Leonard's School, to St. Leonard's Church, to Hinesbury School, to Bethany Church, to New Testament Church, wherever the polling stays. And please vote for Joseph Atherley. Because tonight, you and I are concerned about the dim outlook for this country. The dim outlook of Moody's. The dim outlook of Standards & Poor's. The dim outlook for our country by the IMF. We are concerned about that, and that is tragic. But I want to tell you, I am more concerned about the dim outlook that our people have for our own selves. And we have to correct that. We have to change that. And the Barbados Labour Party promise you a better tomorrow. Things will be better. And soon. I have every confidence in Owen Arthur. I have every confidence in Dale Marshall. I have every confidence in Mia Motley. I have every confidence in Jerome Walker. I have every confidence in all the other men and women. And make no mistake about it, I have every confidence in my own ability because I rely on God to help me to get the job done. And I stand before you with a sense of calling and a sense of duty. And to those of you from St. Michael West, I commit myself to your cause. Help me to help you on February 21st. Good night.